I'm Jeffrey, and this is Life with a Pipe. Last week you saw me start a pressing in a mini press. This morning we're going to take that out, and we're going to start a larger pressing in a standard noodle press, and then I'll light it up. Come join me. Last week you saw me press some tobacco in this little guy here. I'm just going to open that up. All right, this is probably where I'm going to need the rubber handle here. Let's push this back all the way through. There we go. Let's see it coming out there. So remember, this was 8 grams of tobacco pressed for 1 week exactly. Oh, a little bit stuck there, it's fine. And I'm gonna throw it in this jar here for now until I can get around to enjoying that. Now, what you saw me pull out last week and cut up and enjoy, I finished that off because I really enjoyed it. So what I want to do today is make a larger pressing of it using the pasta press that most of you are probably familiar with. These pasta presses are great, very useful, but you do need to plug up the holes. So I used a Sutliff tin lid. It's plastic, so I just cut that out. I like that, it looks great. What I do is I just put some wax paper on that to cover the bottom. And that just goes back on very nicely. And that gives us a nice non-stick surface at the bottom. And I'm going to fill that up with the same mixture that we were using in the mini press last week. It's a mild English blend. It's a garbage can blend of a bunch of Sutliff mild English blends, according to their descriptions from about 10 years ago. I have enjoyed a couple of bowls of this not pressed, and it's much better than I remember it. But I do enjoy it better pressed than loose. So let's see what we can do here. This is 2.4 ounces in this. Let's see how much we can get in here. Gonna fill it up to the top. Push it down a little bit. And let's put the press on top. You gotta use some wax paper here as well. All right, so here's some extra wax paper on top. Actually, I don't need that right now. What I'm gonna do is push this down and measure how thick this puck is gonna be. I want it to be at least 1 inch thick. And by cranking this down, the amount of stem left here at the top will tell you how thick the puck is going to be, minus 5 millimeters. If you push this all the way down, there is 5 millimeters off the top of it there. And I'm getting there, so that's getting tight. And that is about 1 inch thick, so that was looks like I need to glue those ends on. So that was loosely filled up to the very top. Going to make about 1 inch thick puck. And now I'm going to add some wax paper. so that it doesn't stick. I'm not worried about this sticking to the walls of the press because this is a fairly dry blend. It's got enough moisture in it to smoke right now as is, but it is not moist in any regard. All right, so I'm going to leave that like that again for about a week. Come back to it, we'll pull it out, and we'll enjoy it. In my first video, it was a VR to Jess piping for his most recent giveaway. He noticed I had a Meerschaum pipe in my pipe nook there, and I told him that I would be showing that off here, so I want to do that today. But I'm going to cut up this mini plug that we popped out today. So let's go ahead and do that. Got a Gerber Easy Out knife. Had this since I was a teenager. There we go, about half a plug there. Chop this up, rub it out. And I'll show you this Meerschaum that I got for Father's Day. Here we go. So this rubs out very well, very easily. Smells amazing. If you like the smell of Latakia, that is. Save the other half of this plug. All right, so let me set this aside for just a moment and we'll bring this out. So this was one of my Father's Day gifts. The other one was the Savinelli Veneri that you've seen me smoke in my last few videos. This I purchased off eBay. Carver is Dolger Meerschaum. You'll find him on eBay. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Great pricing as well. This is silver work. It is a spigot connection, metal on metal, which is what I was looking for in a Meerschaum. I didn't want one of those plastic insert screw-in tenons. Those seem to break too easy. And if you're going to invest in a hand-carved Meerschaum, I wanted to make sure that it would last as long as possible if it was cared for. I love the silver rim on this. You won't see char on it at all. Brand new bowl. We're going to break this in together today. Love the carving, the eagle on it. Feathers. Flower here on the bottom. I think he did a beautiful job. The red acrylic stem is gorgeous. This is actually the first acrylic stem that I own. After 10 years of smoking, I've never smoked an acrylic stem. Always vulcanite. So let's go ahead and pack this up and have a smoke together. There she is. Hi, welcome back. So the second pressing in the spaghetti press, the jar of tobacco I had was 2.4 ounces. Afterwards, I measured it. There was 0.8 ounces left. So 1.6 ounces of tobacco went into that, and based on the amount of stem that was left above there, it's going to be about an inch thick, which is what I'm going for. So that's 5 times, a little over 5 times as much tobacco as what would fit in the mini press. looking forward to taking that out next weekend. So you saw the Meerschaum. We're going to light this up. Thanks for joining me for its maiden voyage. Loaded it up with the pressing from the mini press. Loved the mixture. The smoothness that the pressing brought to it makes it so much more enjoyable than when it's not pressed. Amazing what a little pressing will do to a tobacco. Let's light her up. So this is my first block Meerschaum pipe. Not my first Meerschaum pipe. I do have this little tasting pipe here. The carving on it's pretty cool. I like that look. But this is definitely pressed Meerschaum. Bought this for tasting. Just a small bowl so I could try different tobaccos, different components, and get an idea of what it was before I committed to a whole bowl of it. So this pipe's great. I did learn, however, that this screw-in tenon is pretty fragile. I'm not a fan of this screw-in plastic tenon with another stem pressing onto it. This unscrews, and if you do that too often, you wear out the connection and you could ruin your pipe. I mean, ultimately you could glue it back in, I guess, but I wanted to avoid that. So when I was choosing a new pipe, I was looking for an army mount or a spigot, and this spigot jumped right out at me. This is 925 silver on the connection, and it comes apart and comes together very easily. Easy to clean mid-bowl if necessary. Usually that wouldn't be a problem, but the option is there. And the color, this red. This is the first acrylic stem I've ever owned. Everything before this has been vulcanite. I love vulcanite. It feels very, very comfortable in the mouth. But I loved this red color. So smooth. I've been wanting a Meerschaum bowl to compare from briar to corncob to Meerschaum to see if I can tell the difference. A lot of people talk about how much drier a Meerschaum smoke is, and I think corncobs do a great job. So I'm excited to be able to do the side-by-side triple test from the different materials. This is going to be a great pipe to help me do that. I also like the ring here, so that I can hold it. You don't want your fingers on a Meerschaum bowl because of the wax coating. If it's hot and your fingers touch it, it's not going to color evenly. You'll impact the way that it looks over time. So the metal spigot connection here gives me something to hold on to that's not the stem, because you wouldn't want the stem to fall out and your bowl hit the ground by holding the stem here. So another great design. The silver on the rim will make it so that you don't have to look at a darkened rim over time. Being one who likes to restore estate pipes, a darkened rim is one thing that I like to avoid. I like to pack my pipe below the rim so that I don't char it. And the silver work is going to help me avoid that over time. So good. So, a little bit about life. School started back this week here in South Florida. My wife is a school teacher for 20 years, and my daughter is starting her junior year of high school. She's an amazing student. She got herself into an accelerated program where she'll be able to graduate high school with an associate's degree. Super proud of her, doing everything we can to support her in that endeavor. She started driving this summer. That's been a big adjustment. Letting her go out and drive herself around town, to school, wherever she needs to. That's been a very letting go of the reins kind of moment in the world of parenting. But all in all, it's been smooth. She's very responsible, very proud of her, not concerned in any way about her. But drivers in South Florida can be a little crazy, so she's got a good head on her shoulders, though. She's very cautious. Proud of her for that. I've been responsible for helping her learn how to drive, and I'm very confident in her ability. So when me and her mother are encouraging her to be a little more assertive, you know you've got a good driver on your hands. So that's been great. This time of year around the house is always a little hectic because of that. We get behind on chores as everybody's trying to gear up for less sleep, or at least earlier bedtimes, earlier wake-up calls. So that adjustment will probably take about a month for everybody to get used to, but we always get there, and we move on. So work for me is good, busy, gearing up for a new project. That'll get underway before the end of September, and that'll take us through the end of the year. Everything's going really, really well. Couldn't be happier. Well, guys, thanks for joining me for this maiden voyage of this beautifully hand-carved block Meerschaum pipe. Remember, life with a pipe is better than without. Bye for now.